evening and welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show. Taylor and Dark Funerals. Hello to Ahriman. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm in Rennes, France today.
Yeah, you have a show tonight, right? You're on tour with Cannibal Corpse. Yes.
Yeah,
How's that going so far? I know you guys are friends, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah. And we're a good package, we're a good team, together. So we have a killer crowd every night, so everything is going really well.
Yeah, I'm jealous. That's that is a lineup. That is a tour you guys together. I'd love to see. That is. It's a shame it's not coming to the U.S. But I know you guys are actually coming to the U.S. too, which is also very cool on the Decibel tour. So,
Yeah, but we did the tour with Cannibal in November, December.
oh, okay, cool. There's so many dates. I'm a little
Yeah,
overwhelmed to
so
be
we
honest
just
with you.
been there.
So right now you're touring for the We Are the Apocalypse album, right? And supporting that, and obviously your other
Yeah,
stuff. It's a really, really good album, very strong. I mean, consistently, even though you've had different lineup changes through the years, your albums have always stayed very strong, and that's probably based to you as a songwriter, the main songwriter and the leader of the band. Um,
yeah. Well, thank you.
you're welcome. But like, it doesn't like because sometimes, and it's not a dig, but sometimes when it changes, the lineups change. You get a weakness or a different songwriting style, and it changes the dynamic of different vocals. But it feels like when I put on a Dark Funeral album, it doesn't really matter who's going to be in the band. I kind of know what I'm getting, and it's very consistent.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, I've
so
been
it's,
fortunate to always have good musicians in the band. So even though we changed members over the years, I think we always stepped up the game, brought in better and more professional musicians by time, and that always helped.
it is, and what's really interesting is, I mean, when you guys came out with the Secret of the Black Arts, which is kind of a almost a cult style, like a game changer of an album, you know, to start off with something like that, and then to keep on putting strong albums out after it. Like you already raised the bar before you came out because you came out with something everyone's like, "What is this? This is insane!" And you know what I mean? It was so unheard of and so good. Um,
Yeah,
that it's huge. Did you feel pressure after that to kind of keep up with that, or do you just kind of keep doing your own
yeah.
thing?
Well, I basically do my own thing, but always, every time I'm starting to write a new record, I always approach myself like I'm never going to even be able to put together one more song. So uh, I kind of dig my grave before I even started. But that's kind of
Well,
helped me get in the right mode at the same time. I put uh, very high demands on myself.
yeah. Well, and what I mean is not to try to compete with being like I don't mean like commercial like the Secret of Black Arts was the cult thing because you never get capacity. Everyone is always going to say no one can do Metallica's this album or Megadeth's this album or anyone's favorite album. No one's ever going to surpass some fans' favorite album. I mean, as you as an artist, I mean, what you created with Secret of the Black Arts is like as a songwriter, you always want to keep progressing, and out of the gate, you came out so strong. So to keep challenging yourself, you know, it's puts
Yeah, I
yourself
mean, that's what
like
keeps me
yourself.
going because, yeah, I always try to challenge myself in different ways. And you always have different ideas for every record, what you want to improve and where the challenge want to be to keep it inspiring for yourself as a songwriter. Of course, I'm kind of primitive in my songwriting. I got my own style and that's me, take it or leave it. But at the same time, I think this new interesting thing, at least for me, for on every record that keep me, inspired to continue develop myself as a guitarist and a musician and songwriter.
Well, it definitely keeps getting better. I mean, it feels we're saying better because it's always been good, but it feels like there is a different change in the songwriting and the way that the structure is and stuff. Um, and the production obviously changes too. Are you writing as you do stuff throughout the year, or are you just sit down like? Because I know some people like play guitar and they just play guitar, and some people like write all the time, and some people don't practice or write until they have to do an album or they do a tour. How are you doing that, like with your playing and writing?
Uh, uh, I can't. I've tried to set up a home studio on the tour bus, but I can't. It's too many things going on. I'm kind of, when I do one thing, I want to focus completely on that. So when I'm on tour, I want to focus on doing the best I can
Yep.
on stage and around that. And when I write music, I gotta be, in a certain mood and
I hear.
not
I couldn't do it. I
get
couldn't do anything on a tour
distracted
bus.
by other things going on.
Well, there's enough going on
I
at the time.
tried and I wish I could, but there's no way. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me.
Do you at this point do you still practice or play or just do riffs or something to keep yourself going? Like, what are you doing at this point? Some because some people don't even do that anymore, or some love to do it.
Well, we practiced before touring and shows, but yeah, we talked about it. I guess a couple of years ago when I was approached about a certain thing, we start talking, or I start reflecting on myself. What kind
Hmm.
of musician am I? You have different kind of musicians,
Right.
and then I had to kind of dig into myself and say, what the fuck, what kind of musician am I? Yeah, I'm not this kind of guy who love to play 24/7 every day guitar. Uh, I play when there's a reason for me to play or write songs when I have to write songs. Uh, and I guess I talked to Thomas Hake and Meshuggah about it too. Both of us come from the north, so we kind of had that connection. And he had the same approach to the music as me. We play with a purpose, and when there's
Yeah.
no purpose, there's no reason to play or practice. Uh, but at the same time, every time I start playing guitar at home,
Hmm.
always try to push myself. Uh, and as I said, every time we tour, we practice a lot, both ourselves, and then we meet up in the rehearsal room and kind of fine tune and discuss, all of it together.
I know COVID changed a lot for a lot of bands. The dynamic of the band, the
Yeah.
dynamic of writing songs. I mean, you were always kind of the songwriter anyhow. But I mean, I know actually you've actually had some health issues too. How are you doing? I know you've been kind of
Uh,
fighting to come back.
yeah, I had a surgery for a hernia about a month ago, and the first couple of weeks on the tour have been kind of difficult. Been
Yeah, I
been in pain
imagine.
every day on stage, and now that getting better. But on the other hand, since I haven't been able to work out due to that, because I'm
Yeah.
not allowed to do it, my shoulder issues have started coming back. So I need to get back in shape as soon as I can start training. I have this kind of rubber band with me that I've been doing
Oh, one of those
earlier
health bands.
today. Just
Yeah.
yeah, with the shoulder, I got some exercises for that, so I need to slowly try and get back and both work out, the muscles around my shoulders and back. But I also need to start going back out running. Uh, but yeah, my doctor has said that take it easy. Uh, and also, I
Yeah.
don't want to push myself too hard because I want this to heal good so I don't have to go back. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of finding a balance how
It is.
to deal with it.
And I've been following you on Instagram when you talk about it, and I'm like, man, he's going on tour already. I know sometimes you have to do it for dates and economics and stuff, but I mean, and I want people to realize that, it's first off, touring is not easy, especially when you're not in your 20s, whether you're sleeping on a bus or hotel and you're not getting a full night's sleep or your full diet. You exercise, you guys are a very physical band. Guitars are heavy on your shoulders. It's a lot of work. So to have a health challenge, two health challenges on top of it, with your shoulder and your hernia, and take away the lack of good night's sleep, regular exercise, healthy diet. I mean, it sounds dorky, but you guys are entertainers and you put on like athletes. You put on a very physical show.
Yeah,
And
you got to be in shape, and I feel like at the moment none of us is in good shape. But on a positive note, we try to push each other, to get back and
well, yeah, but I mean,
working
bands should
out
know
and
that. You know what I
stuff like
mean?
that. So
You guys put a lot of hard work
yeah,
into doing it.
well,
It's not just jamming. You know what I mean? I don't think everybody realizes. Just, oh, you're in a bus all day and then you go up and jam. I'm like, it's hard. Touring is hard for people. And then when you have health issues, you know, I want fans to go out and see you guys. You guys, you're working hard. You're putting it out there, and appreciate it. It's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
well, thank you. No, but it is for me personally, it's been kind of frustrating the last couple of years because I used to exercise like 5, 6, even 7 days a week before Corona,
Mhm.
and then I kind of dropped it, and then I've been trying to get back, and I had injuries and uh, two hernia surgery over the past 2 years, and so I kind of been falling back all the
Yeah,
time. So I never come to the point when I get back in the shape I used to
give you a
be.
peek. Yeah,
So I kind of fall back to square one, and then I come to square 4 out of 10 maybe, and then I fall back again, and so it's been like that for a while, and but I'm kind of stubborn. I just whenever I can, I try to get back to it. So I've been out walking a little bit now and done the rubber band exercises for the stroller. So yeah, give it another week or max 2. I should be able to maybe not go and lift heavy weights and stuff like that. And they said maybe 2 months I should take it easy with that, but I can start doing easier stuff. And then
because you had COVID
yeah,
too, right? You had COVID too, so that probably took the wind out of you at some point.
yeah, I had COVID, but that for me it was like 2 days of super high fever and then basically
Oh, that's
gone.
it. You lucked out.
Well, I had it took a while to get back the breathing and stuff. I kind of was
That's what I had. The
slow
breathing was
a
hard for
week or
me. Oh,
two. But I had mainly, it was just super high fever for knocked me out for 2 days. Then it was pretty all right. But I realized the first day I went out power walking, I was like, "Fuck, man, the breathing is just fucking killing me. I can't, I didn't
I had
have
that
the
for
energy."
weeks.
And it probably took longer for me to get back to energy. I was kind of, tired, but
Yeah,
I mean that for me it was a simple,
good.
easy COVID. So I have friends who've been in fucking ICU and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I had my mom. My mom actually died from it, and I when I
oh
got it, it
shit,
was it was a couple. It was about a week, and I had all the shots and stuff too, and I stayed away from people. I'm a germaphobe, so like not being around people during COVID was fine with me. I'm like this, but the point is, once I got it, and then I was winded afterwards. Once I got over the COVID part, it was fine, but it was like a month to 2 months before I could feel like energy coming back. It really was the
yeah,
worst, and I'm a small guy, so I'm like, it's not like you expected me to have huge health issues. I couldn't imagine. That's why I heard you had it. I'm like, oh, all the other health issues and trying to get ready for tours just gotta be the worst, you know. During this
yeah.
time,
But
I'm sorry, you're also very creative too. Were you also doing your jewelry like when you weren't being able to exercise a lot? Were you working on some of your other stuff?
yeah, I mean, as I said before COVID, I went to the gym 5 to 7 days a week, and I did some days I did 2 sets of different things. Hit training mainly.
Mhm.
High intensity interval training. That's what I like. That's if you see what kind of music I play, you maybe
Yes.
understand that the training I
Oh,
also like.
yeah,
Got
yeah.
to be the intense fucking stuff. That's I just want to do it. Kind of let go of all the thinking and just go hardcore. And that's what kind of also gives me lots of injuries along the way because I don't know where to stop. So I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to hold back as much as I can, but sometimes it's difficult. So yeah, but yeah, now I really need to go slowly back and yeah, I can't wait to you know not have pain. One day without pain
Right.
would be awesome.
Well, pace yourself because like the name Dark Funeral is getting it's always had a good name, but I feel like it's getting bigger now, you know. Especially with this album and the circles I know, it's like the elevation is just so much like more and more people are knowing you guys, you know. So it feels like you guys are just on your way to keep getting bigger. I don't think you guys have like plateaued yet, you know. It's fantastic actually.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah. Well,
do you
we
feel
kind
that?
of always try to. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I see on the the response we get. I mean, in US, we have actually been touring the US more than we have been touring Europe for the last 10 years.
Which is really
So
weird for a lot of bands too. you know?
Yeah, so for US, we seen, for every tour we made, we play better, bigger venues, the
Yep.
fees increased, and yeah, everything is getting better now. Uh, I have some writer who sent me reviews they made of the shows we've done so far, and I kind of, that was the whole point with this. We felt like, we haven't been touring Europe for a long time. People know us from the past, and I know we are so much better lineup wise and
Mhm.
also playing wise. We're so much better on stage than ever. So I felt like, it's going to be interesting to see if somebody had the same feeling as us, and noticed that we have really fucking stepped up the game. And so far, it's been like, yeah, the response have been like they never
Really
seen
big.
Dark Fury in such a good shape, and then never seen such a good show with us before, and so we kind of re-show ourselves in Europe now. It feels,
Well, it's good because I mean you've been
and
doing it for so long. It's got to
and
feel
it's good.
good.
Yeah, and it feels like when people really react on that and see that we have really stepped up, uh, that shows that our hard work have
It pays
make
off.
an impact.
It does, and like
Yeah,
I listen to a lot of music, and that's my show. I have a lot of different artists on the show, like all genres. But I like a lot of different type of music. I don't like every artist, but I like particular artists in certain genres. And it's important to have you on because I wanted people that aren't aware of you or just think, maybe people that don't get this kind of metal and how awesome it is and how technical it is and how much effort and strength and talent it takes to be aware of it, not just blow it off. You guys deliver. You're a very talented group of people, and a group that continually keeps to grow. And it's like what 30 years now? How many years is this? And you're still just getting better.
yeah,
And this new album. So anyway, the new album
yeah.
is
Well,
We're the Apocalypse. It crushes. It crushes.
thank you. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, of course, there is different times and you have different approaches to every record. But as I said before, one thing I always do, and we talk about it a lot within the band, that we put really high pressure on ourselves. It got to take a lot until we're satisfied with a show or something. And we always discuss when we get off stage every night. We will have a quick, yes, it come
Yeah.
natural, nowadays. We just talk how it went. And, for some people, it feels like, they say, today I had a good day. Today I had a fucking horrible day, whatever. And some days everybody feels like, fucking today we did it. But yeah, we put real high pressure on ourselves and to deliver, as best as we can.
Well, you've had this
And
lineup pretty good for a while now. It's a good solid lineup too. You know, feels like you guys are all firing
yeah,
all pistons at this point.
yeah,
You know, is it challenging now for songs for
yeah.
your
So
song
it's
set list?
yeah, yeah. On this tour, since also, I mean, there's two reasons. On this tour, we actually change the set list every week.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
wow. Good.
for one reason is to keep it interesting for ourselves, but at the same time, we have a headlining tour right after with more songs, so we got to
Yep.
kind of sort of practice those songs also. So we're going to be
Yeah, I get it.
yeah. So we kind of change the set list every week. We 1 week we practice one or two songs on the sound check. Then we bring them back in, bring them into the set. Next week we do the same, start practicing two songs, and then we bring them into to the set again. Of course, before the tour we practiced all songs, but you
Right.
gotta keep it
Yeah.
fresh. So we're going to be changing set list every week on this tour, which is, as I said, it's both interesting for us, but the crowd we can never expect what to get.
It's good as a fan, and you said earlier you guys come over to the US a lot. A lot of European metal bands of any dark like rock or any type of metal are not able to come over as much as you guys, which is really fantastic. You know, whether it's economics or whatever reason it is. So it's really great that you guys have been able to come over as much. Um,
Yeah, but it's getting tougher and tougher. The visa costs are getting completely out of control. bus costs us, gas costs us, crew costs us, and on top of that, some of these fucking venues start stealing a big chunk of your merch income, which is, you know, the big income that pretty much all
Yeah.
bands have on a tour. If you're not, even bigger than us,
Yeah.
the merch income help us really pay all the bills too.
Mhm.
And now when they start taking 25% of that and even tax on top of that, so basically sometimes you get half half of what you sell for one night gets in your pocket, and then on top of that you also have to pay tax on that income. So it's like, first, yeah, it's just a long story. It just pisses me
I
off when I
understand.
even think about it.
I
I
actually,
don't understand. I don't understand if these fucking venues understand how much they're killing the scene this way. Uh, and even imagine those bands. I'm thinking about those bands who don't even have a fee for the show and only
Mhm.
the merch income. Man, give it a couple of years. There will be no fucking new bands who going to be able to go on tour
It's not only
because
that.
there's the venues
I talk.
steal all the money for them.
No, they don't. And I talk about this a lot because I want the fans to. If an artist comes to your show, your the venue and you're near you, don't wait for next time. They need to come. And I also say if you can buy merch, you can buy it not at the venue. You can buy it off site from the artist on their website or elsewhere. More money goes to the artist. And I'm gonna say I always say this because so the artists always have to say it. Visas are like 5 to 10 grand now, I think, and that's per person. And then you gotta get it set. And then if you make a mistake, and then buses are depending on what you're getting, you can be almost a grand a day. And then there's insurance, and then you gotta tow all your merch behind you, so there's gas there, and then you gotta pay for a merch person. And then yeah, it's 25%. I've heard 30% at some of these venues. Then America will tax you on top
Plus
of
tax,
everything else. You know,
and then tax on that part, then shipment to the venues.
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, yeah, it's really hurting fucking every band. And I mean, this you can approach it different ways. I also hate the fact that I feel like, when I grew up, I went to a concert. Going to the concert is one part of that's, of course, the show in itself is the main thing. I go there, but going to check out the merch stand, buy some,
yeah.
souvenirs and T-shirts or whatever from the show. That's part of the experience, and these fucking people take a part of that experience too. And we talked about it the other day, and I feel like this. I understand venues and promoter need to find new ways to make money because the cost increase for everybody, rental cost or whatever. But to bite the hand that feed you is definitely the wrong way, because if no band can afford to go on tour, they can keep their
Mhm.
fucking venues empty halls and do whatever they want.
They're
They
gonna
should be
close.
more creative, and not, they should be more
Yeah.
creative and don't, as I said, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Be creative, find new ways to make money at the venue that the crowd are interested to buy for. You know, don't just increase cost, take from the bands. That's just the absolute fucking wrong way.
It's really disappointing that the venues are doing that because they of all people should know what's going on. I get the struggle, but you're right. They doing something a little different because you can't just because you're hurting, you can't take from somebody else. Because that's actually even if they didn't care about it morally, if there's no bands coming, I'm not going to any shows. I don't just go to bars anymore or venues. I will go see, Chemical Corpse or any bands. I will not go to just hang out.
Yeah,
So if there's not a band there, I'm not going to hang out at a club, you know, to pay for overpriced drinks. Do that at home. You know what I'm saying? And listen to music. The
yeah,
the, the experience of metal is you get home, first the album comes out, and usually it used to be better when it was vinyl because it was larger and you get the artwork. And sometimes remember you'd buy the albums, you even know what they sounded like because the artwork was just awesome. You know, but back in those days, you'd be like, "This is a great looking album." You'd buy it, you come home, and then yeah, you get the shows, and then you get like you could buy a bunch of shirts. You go home with all your favorite artist shirts and stuff, and it was the whole thing. And now
yeah,
the prices are ridiculous to do that. And the fans
yeah.
get mad at the artist for a $40, $60 shirt. That's keeps the profits really low for the artist. And tell people those the artist is not making a killing. This is keeping them on the road. This is helping them pay for their health insurance, paying for their homes so they can play and record. It's not.
Yeah.
We're not living on yachts with this tour money. It's not. You know. So it's important that people support you guys.
But it's, yeah. I mean, if the venues don't understand the situation, I think bands are always going to be more creative than they. So we're going to find new ways to get around everything. Of course, they're going to find new ways to hurt fans too. But in the end, we need to win this fight. This
Yeah,
is our passion, and we can't have some people just ruin it.
some people, because someone's going to figure out how to do it. How it's going to be able to like find like halls and just rent them out and put bands in there, and then the band, whatever, and just rent them in the halls, and they can get all the profit. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a way to just like rent out open venues and just fill it with music and be like bypass the clubs if the clubs aren't going to let you do it. You know what I mean? Just lots of empty places nowadays because of COVID.
Yeah,
You just rent them out and put your band in there yourself and sell all your money. You can make all your profits. It might have to be a new step to learn to get these places.
yeah,
There might be a middle business that does that to sidestep all that because otherwise, I don't know what you guys are going to. It's going to change it. It's going to change the dynamic of it. Um,
yeah. Well, we'll
it's
see. We're working on some stuff. For once, on the US store, we are offering pre-order on the tour shirt already now.
Yep,
That's going to help us get away from some of the merch cut, and
good,
for next couple of tours, we're going to find even better ways to
excellent.
get around it. But as I said before, I hate it as stealing that part of the experience with a show. As I said, when I go to a show, I want to go to the merch stand, check out, the artwork on the t-shirts and stuff like that, and get some cool stuff with me. And yeah, they just taking away that part of the experience with the
It's
concept.
hard, and they jack up the
So
price.
yeah,
Then you have to jack
so
up your price, you know, and it's unfair.
yeah, and yeah, in the end, it's the fans are going to pay for it, and I hate that. But the good thing is, more and more bands start talking about this, so they know that the bands don't want this. We don't want to increase the cost, but we have no options because, yeah, I mean, we're paying for the artwork, we're paying for the printing, we're paying for the shipment, we're
Yeah,
paying fucking tag, we're paying, just for that. And so there's not much left. So we need to put up a couple of euros or
I
dollars
talk
for
about it
for every.
all the time for people to know. I want everybody to know that these in the clubs. You guys said and you have to like extra merch, extra shirts. You have the right size. If every color on the shirt is an extra charge. I mean, the profit just dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. The show started
Yeah,
because people were complaining about shirts at a concert, and I literally started working with another artist to talk about it, and the show just developed from people complaining about that. And I've been trying to break down the business part to people to realize
yeah,
it's not the bands, and how else can we support the bands to keep it going? You know,
yeah. I mean,
um,
the merch seller, fans shouldn't stop buying merch at the shows because then they will ruin even more.
yeah,
But they should make their voices heard, that they're not putting up with this because they have to pay for it, in the end. And I don't think any band think it's fair, but yeah, this is the only way we can do it at the moment. And yeah, we don't like it, but we are doing our best to avoid it.
yeah. I don't think it's the bands. I used to go be able to buy a couple shirts, and now I can only buy like one or two. You know what I mean? It's like which is not a big. I'm not crying about being able to afford shirts. I'm just saying, it's unfortunately they don't let you guys get more bang for the buck out of you guys. Is what it comes down to. Um, I want to thank you for being on the show. This is fantastic. People check you out. You have a fantastic website with all your dates on it. We didn't talk about it, but I want to say you do some great jewelry line. So I want people to check that out and check you out on your Facebook and your Instagram. I'll put the links, the show underneath this and the podcast on YouTube for people to go
But
over and dig deeper. And
yeah,
people,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. If you're
reach
not
out to
too
the venues,
familiar, check us
complain,
out.
you know, complain to the venues about this, what we're talking about, to support your favorite artists. If your artists aren't making money, they can't keep touring. That's what you're saying. It's hard to tour America as a European band. And it's actually hard for American bands now to get over to Europe with all the Brexit and everything now too. Now it's just a hot mess
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everybody. It's really gonna be nobody. It's just gonna be people. What it's gonna come down to is just like local tribute bands in the area playing other people's music at this point on a Friday night. At this point, if people don't start, you know, letting the walls down for finances, letting musicians be artists and tour the world like you're supposed to. You know,
yeah. But yeah, we just got to find new ways that make it works for everybody. But at the
yeah.
moment, or you know, the bands are paying the highest price as always, and we now it's the time to put an end of that. And and make sure that everybody knows and how much, one side, how much they are destroying, and on the other side, how you can
Yeah.
help bands to keep the scene alive. Or not just the black metal scene, but the music scene
Oh,
in
right.
general. Because
Everyone's affected.
I mean,
It's all about music.
imagine, yeah, I mean, imagine I talked to a friend band who play arenas,
Hmm.
how much they pay one day just for selling some t-shirts. Man, it's just
I
not
talk,
reasonable in any
yeah,
fucking way.
I've talked to the softest rock bands, the classic rock bands. Like I talk all music, and it's the same for every artist because it's really just music,
Yeah, yeah,
and it depends on what mood you're in for certain types of music. You know what I mean? Not always in a dark metal band or a black metal mood or a light music. It just depends. But you need to support art, even if you don't like a certain type of music. You need to support music. It's good
yeah,
for
yeah.
you, and
We all in the same boat, whatever
yeah.
genre we belong to.
And I hope people that
So
aren't aware
so
of your
this is the
band
fight we got to
check.
do together.
Yeah, and I hope people that aren't aware of your music check you out. Um, Guys, some great songs, super talented, very aggressive. It's just really, really great workout music, really great exercise music. You know,
Cool, thank you.
very, and I love the songwriting. You really good songwriting, and I think I do want to know that I don't want people just saying all metal is this or is that, and I really hate that generic. But if you really pull back and listen to it, there's some really great technical playing and some really good songwriting. And I find it in your music as much as I find in you know different type of rock music. You know what I mean? You saw that same quality songwriting in yours. So I want to encourage people, and people that are fans obviously know what I'm talking about, like me that have been following you forever from the very beginning. And people go back check out the first album, which was really groundbreaking. Really kind of set the pace for a lot of bands. Check them out on tour. Europe right now. Then you come into the States May 11th, I think, right? Like San
Yeah,
Antonio in California. And then you start your
yeah,
tour there.
we talked May 11th.
Yeah, that's the Decibel tour, which is cool, very cool. And you're playing across a couple months, then you got some more stuff coming back. So check you out on tour. I want to thank you, man. It's been great you being on the show. Thank you very much.
Right. Thanks for your interest.
Thank you.